Dati Swapadantigam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namastite. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mam Vishnu Padaya. All right, we are going to finish the chapter today, the universal form or Vishwarup Sandarshan Yoga. Bhagavad Gita chapter 11. Let's pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda before we proceed. Hare Krishna. And we are going to, we are reading from 11th chapter. And we studied that Arjuna is requesting Krishna to show his universal form, even though he has accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead fully and wholly. And then what are the reasons what makes Arjuna request the universal form? And then Krishna accepts that request and then gives him the divine vision. Then Sanjay describes the universal form as Krishna. First, Krishna describes the universal form, gives Arjuna divine vision, and then shows the universal form. And when he's showing the universal form, Sanjay is describing that universal form to others. For Krishna, Dhritarashtra as well. Then Arjun offers prayers. He gets into the bhava of wonder. And then he asks Krishna that who are you in a universal form? And Krishna answers that Kalo Asmi, time, it is I am, time. Then he offers incessant prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's what we read last time, the prayers of Arjun, right? Now, today is the last chapter where basically Krishna speaks mostly. That after he has converted himself to the two-handed form again. Arjun wanted to request Krishna to show his four-handed form and then to his Shamsundar form. So only pure devotees can see Krishna's two-armed form. Okay, there are no shlokas here, but if you actually open your Bhagavad Gita, it'll be nice so we can actually discuss some of the verses. I didn't modify the slides. Hare Krishna. But if you open the verse number 47 in your book, we can discuss some of the key verses, key words in the verses as they come about. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjun, happily have I shown you by my internal potency the supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence." Okay, so the key word is that Krishna is saying that Yanme Tvad Anena Na Drishta Purvam. No one has seen this form before you. And this is only by my potency that I have, my internal potency that I have shown you this universal form within the material world. Now, Prabhupada writes in that purport as well that the universal form is material. Universal form is under the time factor because whatever is shown in the universal form is also under the time factor. So, and Krishna has made it very clear that nobody saw it before Arjuna. But then Prabhupada says that there is some people who think that Krishna showed the form to Duryodhana. Krishna clarifies that it was not to so much of extent. To so much of extent, only Arjuna saw for the first time. And anyone who's in the disciplic succession of the Lord, like the demigods, also saw the form. So it was not just Arjuna. Okay. Now, this is, O best of Guru warriors, no one has no one before you, Krishna, has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, okay, there are four things here, neither by studying the Vedas, which just as Veda, Yagna, Adhyan, nor by performing sacrifices, na daner, nor by charities, na cha kriyabhir, not tapobhir, not by performing sacrifices, not by charities or similar activities can this form be seen. Only you have seen this form. So in the verse, it says, Na Veda Yagna Adhyan, okay, which is by studying the Vedas. Which is by studying the Vedas. Just 1 second. 1 second. So sorry, ना वेद यज्ञ, ओके, यज्ञ अध्ययन नहीं कर सकते वेद पढ़ के भी, पेट पढ़ के भी नहीं समझ में आएगा. I'm very sorry. Now by performing sacrifices, okay, you say, okay, I will perform some sacrifice and then I will be able to see Krishna's universal form. No, now by charities, दानेर लिखा है उधर, उससे भी नहीं होगा. तपा, कोई बहुत बहुत ऑस्टेरिटीज करे, उससे भी नहीं होगा. और उग्रह एवं रूपम नहीं, we cannot see. Only you have seen this form. So Prabhupada has actually elaborated what is who is eligible to see this form. The person who is eligible to see this form is a divine person. How can somebody be a divine person with a divine vision if they are not at least demigod? That's the question Prabhupada raises in the purport. So, and then he explains what is a demigod. So he explains, right, what is a demigod? Yeah, so who is a demigod according to this verse? What is Srila Prabhupada writing in the purport? So you're getting the sequence how Prabhupada is describing that to be able to see this universal form, all these particular things are immaterial. So one minimum has to have a divine quality to be able to have divine vision, or to the minimum has to be a demigod. Then Prabhupada is explaining who is a demigod. So who is a demigod? In this verse, who is a demigod? It's a definition.
Hare Krishna Mataji, those who are devotees of Lord Vishnu are demigods.
Yes, so very nice. So Prabhupada is writing Vishnu Bhakto Smrito Deva. So that particular person is a demigod and has earned the eligibility to at least have a divine vision. So when we will go 2-3 verses down the lane from here, Krishna will say that this two-handed form, when he displays this two-handed form, Shams in their form, is even difficult for demigods to behold. Here, he's saying universal form technically, at minimum, have to be demigod, but Shams in their form technically, even the demigods are, struggling. So basically, Srila Prabhupada explains in that purport that for seeing a universal form, there can be some adjustments done, a tinge of devotional service added here or added there. But to see Shams in their form, one has to be 100% pure devotee. Okay, and then he explains that what is Yagya Adhyan or Vidya, I'm sorry, Veda Adhyan. Veda Adhyan means that I am going to study all the Vedas, 4 Vedas, 18 Puranas, or so many sutras, and I'm going to have so much knowledge and I will see Krishna. No. So knowledge of a living entity is not attractive to Krishna. Dane refers to, I will give charity to a suitable person, to a suitable Brahman, for some pious activity as prescribed in different Vedas, then I will see Krishna's universal form. No. Tapasya, okay, I will do some austerities, accept some bodily discomfort, get up for Mangalarti. So, so that also is not so much attractive to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, to show him. Okay, and then he's writing impersonalist, or I think, yeah, this is all. So these are the 4 things he was mentioning. Then what is it that one makes one eligible to see the Krishna, to see this universal form? Only you have seen this form. One needs to have some demigod or divine qualities. Okay, only superficial qualities are not enough. So this is the 400 form, but we are talking about universal form in these 2 verses. Okay. Mate vyatha mache vimudha bhavo drishtva rupam ghoramidraм mamedam vyapeta bihi prita manha punastvam tad eva me rupam idam prapasya. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished, my devotee. Be free again from all disturbances. with a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. So Prabhupada tells us that the universal form is not so dear to the devotees of Krishna. What makes it not so dear to the devotees of Krishna? Why are they always looking for seeing Krishna in his two-handed form or four-handed form? Why is it not dear?
Because they can't have a personal relationship, Mataji. Like they cannot. There is no reciprocation.
Yeah. So devotee is looking for relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, it's not like what do you say? Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada used to say, Thakur dekho. I don't remember the Bengali, but the verdict is that you go look at your God and then ask for fulfilling your desires and then go away. You see, it's a very dangerous kind of a business to ask for our desires to be fulfilled. We can ask, but actually safeguard is to ask Krishna. You know why? Because the demigods will fulfill the desire without considering it. And it is said that the more tears were shed when the desires were fulfilled than when they were not fulfilled. So we actually don't know what to desire and what to desire. We don't know. And then we don't know, and then we approach a personality who is also not going to give it a thought, and the desires are, granted. And then we shed tears that why did I ask for it? And you know the story of this brahmachari. Yeah, I showed a brahmachari who was very dear to his guru, and the guru was going for travel, and then brahmachari was interested with that taking care of the ashram of the guru and but in the absence of guru. And you know this? Do you know this slide? I've shown you. No, Kirti Mataji. Anyone else?
I remember it little bit, Mataji. Like he gets married and then there is a
So okay, so let me see if I can bring it up. Okay, you have to give me a minute. So the so what I'm trying to say is that more tears were shed when when our desires were fulfilled than when they were not fulfilled. So if we have a desire, it's okay. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udharati. Let me pull up, give me a second. Right? Tivrena bhakti yogena. What is the last word? Tivrena bhakti yogena. What is it? Akama sarva kama va. It's 2:110, I think. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udharati. Tivrena bhakti yogena. अरे यहाँ here कोई देख के भी नहीं बताता. Okay, so how is it an example? So this is what happens. There was a brahmachari. A brahmachari was very, very obedient, and and the guru entrusted the brahmachari to take care of his ashram when he went traveling and preaching. This brahmachari was very, very keen on studying the scriptures. He just didn't want to do anything else, but he can't say no to the order of the guru. So there was a rat which was disturbing the ashram, and he didn't know what to do with the rat. So another person advised the brahmachari that get a cat, because the cat will eat the rat, and then there will be no rat, and then you will be peaceful. Okay, so he got the rat. Now when he got the rat, he got the cat. Now when he got the cat drinks. What does the cat drink? What does the cat drink?
Milk.
Milk. So isko milk. Now what to do now? How to maintain the cat by milk? So the same person advises that, okay, keep a cow. What is the problem? Because a cow will give milk. It's a low maintenance animal. Give milk. The milk will you give milk to the cat, and then keep the cat so there is no rat, and then you're peaceful and studying the scriptures. Okay. Now the brahmachari is finding it hard to maintain the cow, because to bathe the cow, to feed the cow, to milk the cow, it's a time consuming effort. We see that in Gita Nagari. And the cows have their personality of their own. Okay, if they want to give milk, they'll give. If they don't want to give milk, they're not in the mood, they may not give. It's so much personalities. Like there's so much pastime going on in Gita Nagari that I can go on and on and on. But how they have the mind of their own. Okay, so now he's approaching this person again. That it is so hard to maintain the cow. And now not only they have to maintain a cow, milk a cow, but also give the milk to cat. So I'm maintaining a cat, and there's no rat. And they, so that there's no rat. So this person says, "Oh, so much problem. Why don't you get married? Because get married and you will have a wife. Low maintenance. You don't need to maintain wife. She can maintain herself, and she will do everything for you." So he gets married. And then the guru comes back because the main agenda was that he was praying that he can read the scriptures. Hai na? He wants to save time to read the scriptures. Then the guru comes back after, I don't know, a few years maybe. And then he says, okay, how did you maintain the ashram? He said, what ashram? So this is what he ends up with. So many. So basically what happens, what I'm trying to say over here in this particular verdict is that we don't know what we should desire for. We don't know. The thing is that mind tells us, I know if I get this job, I'll be happy. I know if I get this relationship works out, then I'll be happy. I know that if I get this home, I'll be happy. I know. But the thing is that we don't know because we think we know, and then we get into that problem, fulfilling our desire, and then the time is gone. Right? Out of all the things, the time is the most precious. So the safe haven is to pray to Krishna, because Krishna will analyze that what is good for us, for me, at Krishna conscious level, and what is not good for me. And then he will not give what is not good for me. I may feel hurt, dejected, rejected, but ultimately, if we stay with the program, if we stick around for that moment to pass and to develop tolerance and cultivate faith, then we can actually retrospectively look back and say that this was the right thing to happen at that time. Okay, so the relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is something that devotees relish. They want to see serve the Lord. They want to be able to dress the deities. They want to be able to feed the deities, or offer flower to the deities, prayers to the deities, arti to the deities, the meditation. Right? We are studying nowadays Damodar Lila. How can you have Damodar Lila with the universal form? And it's so sweet in how Mother Yashoda is doing this, doing that. Okay, so Krishna himself is agreeing that this was indeed a horrible feature, and now I will show you whatever you want to see. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, while speaking thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-arm form, and at last he showed him his two-arm form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Says that fearful Arjuna. Here the word is used, fearful Arjuna. What is it that Arjuna was fearful of? And the other key word in this verse is Saumya Rupa. Saumya Rupa means very beautiful. Saumya Vapur. Saumya Vapur means very beautiful. So fearful. So Arjuna, he just banished the fear of and showed him again. So we studied earlier that the fear was not of the form itself, but the fear was the offenses that Arjuna committed to Krishna in his friendship. Okay, so I don't know what does fear over here mean. I am just anecdotally going by what we studied earlier, because Srila Prabhupada has written in the purport that Krishna banished the fear of Arjuna, but he's not elaborating on it. But the more important thing is that the two-handed form is very beautiful. And something which is very beautiful is, does it disturb the mind or does it calm the mind? What does the beauty do to the mind? What does it do?
It calms the mind, Mataji.
Yeah, right. It calms the mind. So so Krishna does not want the mind of a devotee to be disturbed. He does not want. He will not do it. If we put Krishna in the mind, So that means be assured that the mind will never be disturbed. The mind is only disturbed because there is no Krishna there. But once Krishna enters, there is no disturbance. We can see it from this particular element that Krishna is showing the form, 200 form or 400 form to Arjun, so that the disturbance of Arjun's mind is ameliorated. This will come later, but here we also can see that Krishna showed all these forms right there in the field of Mahabharata. So he didn't have to, go and change costumes and then come back and then display the thing. But the key is that the two-handed form of Krishna is original. And from that form, every other form is coming. It's not that the universal form is the cause of two-handed form of Krishna, or the four-handed form of Krishna is the cause of two-handed form of Krishna, or even Prabhupada writes that Mahavishnu is the cause of Krishna. No, Krishna is the cause of any other form. Right? Ete cha anshakalavam sa Krishnastu bhagwan swayam. Indari vyakulam lokam. Vidyanti yuge yuge. When Arjuna saw Krishna in his original form, he said, "Oh Janardhan, seeing this a human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature." Okay, so he's like confirming that Manushim Rupam, or this human-like form of Krishna, is the original form, and it is calming to the mind of a devotee, because Krishna calms everything down for us. So the lesson learned is, for me personally, that if I have a disturbance in my life, it can be that there are external factors. There's always an external reason and an internal reason for whatever we go through. Okay, so externally it may appear that the things are not in order, and there is some obvious illness or disturbance or this. But internally, there is only one reason, that I am forgetting that Krishna is in complete control. I'm forgetting to let Krishna enter my mind. So in any circumstance, one must be able to let Krishna enter one's existence, any circumstance. And for that, we have to practice. And practice under the authorized parampara, not practiced by one's own whims or speculation. Because that's not going to last. Because nothing in the mind lasts. Is there anything in the mind lasts? It's always fleeting, right? We sankalpa vikalpa. Prabhupada is sankalpa vikalpa. Like something and then we don't like something. Or we like something, but after some time we don't like the same thing. Or we like somebody, and after some time we don't like that somebody. Yeah, does it happen? Sankalpa vikalpa is what is written in Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Devotion. The mind is always accepting, rejecting. And the other thing is, it's always lamentation or hankering. Lamentation or hankering. Always lamenting for what is lost, always hankering for what is not there. So where is Shanti? Shanti means that there is a sense of calmness, tranquility, or satisfaction. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, this is the verse. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjun, this form of mine you're now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunities to see this form, which is so dear." So we studied for Krishna 48 verse, that not by studying the Vedas, not by doing austerities, not by giving charity, not by doing sacrifices or similar activities can one see the universal form of Krishna. Here he's saying that he's showing this two-handed form to Arjun, but this is even more difficult, because even the demigods are ever seeking opportunities to see this form. Srila Prabhupada gives an elaborate purport to this particular verse. Let me ask, somebody wants to explain the purport? How do you study Srila Prabhupada's purports? What are the processes that Prabhupada is mentioning that will not work? He is mentioning two processes in the purport that will not work. And he is mentioning one process which will work. What are the processes? Okay, so Prabhupada is saying material process. Okay, material process means understanding that Krishna is a great historical personality and very learned philosophy, but he's an ordinary man. It's not going to work. Consider it a material process. Materialistic calculation of Supreme Lord is not going to work. Another calculation is speculative. So Prabhupada writes, those who are in search of knowledge also speculate on Krishna and consider him to be less important than the universal form of Supreme. They believe that in the ultimate issue, the absolute truth is not a person. Okay, so speculative process and material process. These are the two processes which Prabhupada has refuted. This is not going to work. Material process, matlab calculate kar lo, okay, Krishna is this, Krishna is that. You know how we calculate materially when we see somebody? That, okay, this person must be middle-aged, this person must be educated, this person must be middle class or maybe high middle class, this person must be married, this person must be retired or whatever. Like we start calculating, right? Yeah, we calculate. Material process as material process. Speculation is also going on at the same time that this person must be they're beautiful, but not as much as mine because my eyes are more pretty than their. You see, or ultimately the eyes they have are old and they will develop cataract. See, all these things are going on in the material modes of nature. And they actually sprinkle the same kind of thoughts in all the conditioned souls. So there is no variety. But we think that there is variety. It is so interesting that in Krishna consciousness, there is so much variety. But in material world, it appears that there is variety, but there is no variety. Why? Because the foundation is modes of nature, which are actually in the same kind of thoughts everywhere, no matter what background one comes from. I used to think when I was in India that in Western countries, this mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationships are better. I don't know why I thought, because they don't live with each other, right? I'm just giving example. I'm not trying to judge or find fault, okay? But that's what my personal experience in life is. Kirti Mataji, is it same in Australia? You thought that?
Yes, Mataji, we always think like life outside is better. So
I'm giving specific example of a mother-in-law, saas or bahu ka relationship. Is like in
yes,
India, it's little bit strained always. Not always, I should not say that, but most of the cases, the bahu doesn't want the saas, right? So in America, they are not anyway living together, so that must be better. That was my hypothesis. Okay. But then I realized that all these people I work with, they are Thanksgiving, okay? Thanksgiving dinner, everybody gets together once a year. And it is such a big headache for all of them that I know of. Somehow, maybe I'm surrounded by that they don't want to see what they have to see, what they have to see. So because the relationship is like strained, even though it is the mother-in-law does not have that mentality as the Indian mother, that I agree because they have the life of their own, but still the relationship. So I understood that the modes of nature give the same kind of thought to every conditioned soul, same kind of thought. So there is a variety, there is no variety. Why? Because same thing is happening everywhere. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Is there a variety? Okay, we can say, Prabhupada say that the hog likes to eat stool and a human being likes to eat halwa. So there is a variety. But actually there is no variety because the kind of enjoyment one is getting by eating stool or eating halwa is the same. So where is the variety? But in Krishna consciousness, in different relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is variety. A Sakhya ras is not the same as the Vatsalya ras. There is more juice, there is more relishment in that particular thing. in that particular, what Mother Yashoda is experiencing is not experienced by Arjun. She's experiencing higher, and Krishna is exclusively throwing tantrums and want to be caught by her. So, so what I'm trying to say here, Prabhupada explains two kind of processes which doesn't work: material process and speculative process. So what works? What works is one who is surrendered soul. One who is a surrendered soul, that particular person can actually conquer Krishna. So we actually surrender in a material calculation. If you look at the history of, all these kings who were fighting with other kings for some sort of gain, and then one party surrenders to other party, which means that the other party has seen the power of the surrendering party, has seen the power of the other party, right? For the discussion's sake, that's what is happening. That's why this particular party is giving up their desire to fight anymore, and they are just giving up, right? है ना? If somebody surrenders to somebody, एक राजा ने दूसरे राजा को सरेंडर कर दिया, इसका मतलब ये है ना कि जो राजा ने सरेंडर कर दिया वो हार मान ली. हाँ, कीर्ति माता जी, बाकी nobody has their camera on,
Yes.
and otherwise Anmaya Mataji, and she doesn't want to give me any expressions. Right? So, but here, if we surrender to Krishna, the process is same. We agree, Krishna, you are great. You see how Arjun is surrendering here. You are great. I'm very small. Krishna actually becomes more available to that person. He actually gives him more. Prabhupada was explaining, I am hearing this lecture so many times every day. First canto, 5th chapter, verse 23. Pura atita bhave abhavam. So Narad Muni is speaking to Vyasdev here. So listen to the lecture. Prabhupada is explaining, being under the protection of Krishna means being under the protection of all the opulences of Krishna. Everything protects. Yes, Yogeshwara. So why a devotee has to go through another process of protecting itself by this yogic power, that yogic power, because we are under the protection of Yogeshwara, which means all of opulences of Krishna will protect us. So this is in so much of contrast to a material surrender. Material surrender matlab, I have become like a doormat and now you can walk over me. Here, when we surrender to Krishna, Krishna gives more. He actually becomes more available. He actually wants to sit and dine with us or have more relationship. It's so sweet. Krishna consciousness is so sweet. It actually gives that direct perception. Okay, so to understand the two processes which are not going to work are what? Now tell me. 52.
Material and speculative process.
Very nice. So material, we calculate. God is, Krishna is great. Krishna has so many powers. Krishna is like fantastic personality, philosopher, but he's a human being. Our speculative process, God is formless. Not gonna work. The form you're seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penance, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see as I am. So he's repeating it. He's repeating that these are the things that I am not available. Okay, don't try to go that route because I'm not available. You see, this is the structure of a love letter, okay? Because Krishna is writing how he is available and how we can become available. He is not available. If you go the route of studying the Vedas, becoming aware, I'm not available there. You don't go there. Or if we give a lot of charity, no, I'm not available there. If we do a lot of austerities, a lot of worship, I'm not available. These are not the way you can see me. That doesn't mean that one should not do that, because link to the next chapter is that he gives us the processes which actually ultimately lead to pure devotional service. He's not saying don't do it. Don't misread this word. He's just saying that he is not available by doing this. We can do them. Right? Anyabhilashitas shunyam jnana karma anavritam. So jnana and karma are allowed. Jnana and karma are allowed. But how much is allowed? Until it leads to the first thing, which is anyabhilashita shunyam. Study everything, and say that, okay, I don't want to do this because there's no Krishna here. I know it, but I'm not gonna waste my time in it because there's no Krishna. So it's allowed, but it is only allowed to the extent that it leads one to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not available. Prabhupada writes, he explicitly explains in this verse so that unauthorized commentators who try to understand Bhagavad Gita by the speculative process will know that they are simply wasting their time. Krishna can be understood only by the process of undivided devotional service, Ananya Bhakti, which we will, this was verse number 54 that he was writing. So, Bhaktya me Ananya Sakhya, aham eva vido Arjun, Gyatum Drishtum Chadratvena, Praveshtam Cha Parantapa. My dear Arjun, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding. We told where I'm not available, but I'm available here. It's like, okay, if somebody is writing a love letter to somebody, says, don't go to this particular place, I'm not there. Don't go at this particular time to this particular person, I'm not there. Where I am, I'm here. Come here. At this time, we'll meet. This Krishna is saying, only by undivided devotional service. And he is using the word only twice. Only by undivided devotional service, only in this way. Okay, so that means it's the only way. Ananya Sakhya. Ananya means unalloyed, and unalloyed means it is not mixed with jnana or karma. Okay, it is only mixed with pure desire to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can be very meditative. When I read this verse, it's like, oh my God, maybe this is how I must be chanting. Because when we chant, so many things come up. Yeah, it happens with you. It's not that you're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That person said this, then that happened, and that happened. Yeah, it comes up. Kirti Mataji comes up. Anya Mataji also comes up. Rest, I don't know. If it doesn't come up for you, then you're very fortunate. It comes up. But then the thing is that one must be able to bring the mind to center again. That it's not going to solve my problem. Material problems and material desires are like ropes which keep us grounded in this material world. It's like, it's not a Shastric example, but if you see a cow tied with a rope to a pole, so generally it is a metal pole, hai? It's like deeply buried under earth, and the cow's rope is tied very tightly to that particular pole, so the cow cannot run away. Right? Even though it wants to run, it's running. There's the perimeter of the freedom of this particular animal is defined by the length of the rope. Yeah. So now the length of but it is still very tied to the ground. So processes other than Krishna consciousness are like that. I was thinking about it one day. It says, I think I'm free. Okay, but I'm tied to the material world. But I'm also tied to the material world with these three modes of nature, which are like rope. If somebody is tied with a mode of ignorance, the length of the rope is very small. The freedom is very small. Passion, it becomes a little big. Goodness, it becomes even more big. It's biggest out of goodness and after passion and ignorance. It's the biggest perimeter is defined, but still very tied to the material world. But that's not where I belong. That's not what my destination is. Because ultimately, I'm still bound to the earth with that particular pole, and I'm just enjoying that how much freedom can the length of the rope give me. You get what I'm saying, or I lost all of you? Do you get
Yes,
what I'm
Mataji.
Okay, you understood. Right. So why not like uproot that pole and then just run, like we can, and just like run to wherever you want to run, which is only by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Krishna consciousness can bestow that, and only Krishna consciousness can bestow that kind of freedom to a conditioned soul, because we're not conditioned anymore. Okay, what is this pastime? What is this photo displaying?
Sakshi Gopal.
Sakshi Gopal. Everyone knows the Sakshi Gopal, right? There's that old man. He's so embarrassed. He's like flat in front of Krishna. Everyone knows the story of Sakshi Gopal?
Yes,
Hare?
Mataji.
Okay. So it's not that one should not do penance, but one can do the penance according to the principles of devotional service. It's not that one should not give charity, but give charity to propagate Krishna consciousness. It's not that one and the greatest charity is to give the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the holy name, to the other living entities. That's the greatest charity. And it's not that one cannot worship. One worship, but worship the deity. Is and the two-handed form again. Prabhupada is explaining in this purport that that Krishna's two-handed form is original form, and from that form every other form is coming, and not the other way. And then I think that's pretty much it in this verse. One should conclusively worship the personal form of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has eternal bliss and knowledge. Okay, so it's a very big purport, and I hope I'm assuming that you all read it. So, and what is Ananya Sakhya? And then what is Praveshtam Cha Parantapa? Okay, one can understand the mysteries of Krishna consciousness. To a devotee of Krishna, everything is open. Tattvadarshi, right? Krishna says in 4th chapter, Guru is a Tattvadarshi, can see. But to a non-devotee, everything is hidden. How? Because they are not convinced of their relationship with Krishna and who Krishna is. This is the last verse. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta sangha varjitaha, nirveraha sarvabhuteshu, yaha sa mam iti pandava. My dear Arjun, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, one who is friendly to every living entity certainly comes to me. So, mat karma krin. Mat karma krin means Krishna karma, or engaged in activities or work which is concerned with Krishna, or also means that one is not attached to the fruit of work. When do we work the best? When we are attached to the fruit of work, or when we are working for Krishna and doesn't matter what the fruit will be? When do you think we'll give our 100% or 200%?
When we are not attached to the fruits, Mataji.
And we are working for Krishna.
Working for Krishna.
Yeah, when we are working, like Rupa Mataji is giving Krishna book class, I think for years and years. How many years now? 4 years?
No, Mataji, 2.5 or 3 years.
Yeah, so many years she's giving so many times a week this Krishna book class. I think she's become an expert now. But then I don't think the way I know her personally, I don't think she's doing it so that she can be known as a very well-read Krishna book scholar. Even though Krishna will make her that, she will become that. But that's not the main agenda, you see. The main agenda is that, okay, let's talk about the past times. Let's relish what Krishna did in all these leelas. But she will become a pure devotee. She will, because it's a benediction given by Srila Prabhupada. How can you not get it? But that's not the main thing. The main thing is that, okay, let me serve the acharyas. Let me do what I can do best. Even a little bit. Okay, even a little bit. Like Prabhupada says, if even watering a tulsi plant, you can't do anything, at least water the tulsi plant. In India, it is not difficult at all. In foreign countries, especially where it is very cold, it is work, but it is still possible. Okay, so mat karma krin is like work which is concerned with Krishna. If somebody is a businessman, constructor, busy in constructing big buildings, do it for Krishna. Establish a deity and establish the worship of the deity according to regulation. One can live there, but know that the proprietor is Krishna. We can live in our house like that. Everything goes around the deities of the house. Everyone is eating what they are eating. Everyone's schedule is bound around at least 1 or 2 worships a day. Everyone is sharing what they can offer to Krishna, right? And then mat paramo. Mat parama means one who considers the association of Krishna in his pure supreme abode to be highest perfection of life. Not like I want to end up somewhere in the middle. You see, at the rope example I gave you, so I'll go to Brahmalok, Indralok, Swargalok. No, I want to associate with Krishna in Krishnalok. Madbhakta Sangha Varjitaha. Sangha Varjita is very significant. Free from unwanted association. Free from unwanted association of who? What is unwanted association?
Materialistic people,
And
atheists,
and
and
very nice. And
Fruitive activities.
is that's materialistic people, right? And atheist, okay, and mental speculators, or people who are impersonalists, speculate Krishna to be formless. So Sangha Varjita. So when we go to associate with someone, keep the radar up because it's very simple now, it's given. Am I associating? Association का मतलब क्या होता है? I'm not gonna look at you. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna look at you because you are a fruitive worker or a mental speculator or a mental speculator or an atheist. I'm not gonna look at you. Is that what it means? What does it mean? Sangha Varjita, not associating or free from that association.
means we are still among them, but our heart is not, in that conversation.
Okay, what does association mean? What does association mean according to the Shastras?
Performing activities together, Mataji,
Like what?
like discussing Krishna, or Kirtan, and these kind of activities, devotional activities, dressing the deities.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says 6 things. Right? Priti Vardhanam. That's how we increase our love for each other in devotional service. The 6 processes. Nobody knows, huh?
Accepting gifts from devotees, Mataji, and giving gifts again in return.
Then what else?
Can't remember, Mataji. I'm trying to. I'll just recollect.
Accepting
Rupa Mataji.
prasadam and giving prasadam.
Very nice. And then?
Like we disclose something confidential, and they also tell us their mind.
Very nice. So collectively, you all can pass. Huh? Individually, I don't know. So you guys need each other so much. So accepting gifts, giving gifts. Accepting prasadam, giving prasadam. And then like revealing one's mind and hearing other person's mind. This is the definition of association. But when we go to somebody who is not a devotee of Krishna, it doesn't mean we actually assume we are allergic to them. No. What it means is we give them gift, we give them prasadam, we hear their mind, but we don't do we don't accept gifts. We don't accept food from them if it is not offered to Krishna. We don't disclose our mind in confidence. Okay, so we actually become more like a mentor, more like a giver. So Sangha Varjita means that there is this exchange going on. The Sangha means there is this exchange going on. Sangha Varjita means it is not going on. But that doesn't mean that we are not going to go and tell them about Krishna consciousness. We will be at the giving end. So defining the dynamics of a relationship are very important to save one's energy. It's very important that what are the dynamics of this relation which I am in and what is it that I'm supposed to do. Okay, you're not going to disclose your mind to your boss, huh? My boss, I'm going at work. Well, there's some decorum, there's some boundary, right? So Krishna is asking us to set the boundary. Sangha Varjita, don't do that. Okay, so and it's very, and who are the people, and what is it that we are not supposed to understand that properly. And then nirvairaha. Nirvairaha matlab hota hai, vairaha means what? What does vaira mean?
Hostility?
Nirvaira means
No hostility,
hmm.
no enmity.
To who?
Friendly.
Nirvaira to
To
who?
all living entities.
Sarvabhuteshu. Very nice. So nirvaira sarvabhuteshu. So being friendly to all living entities. So how is it possible that one can become friendly to all living entities just by becoming Krishna conscious? Right? Generally, the materialistic education teaches us that become friendly to somebody who can give you some advantage. Right? This is the material world. Material world means calculation. Understand? People are calculative. It's okay. There's going to be higher. There's going to be lower. There's going to be middle. So become friendly to somebody who can give you something, or don't become enemy to anyone, because you never know when they're gonna need you or you're gonna need them. Mostly when you're gonna need them. But here Krishna is saying nirvaira sarvabhuteshu. All living entities become friendly to them. All of them. How is it possible? How is it possible? Are he's
By becoming Krishna conscious.
saying it is possible now. So what happens when one becomes Krishna conscious? How can they become nirvaira sarvabhuteshu?
They
They
become
will
friendly.
develop,
Anvaya Mataji?
yeah, they will develop compassion, all the qualities which Krishna has, automatically some of these qualities will imbibe in us. And we will see everyone at the soul level as a part and parcel of Krishna. So once we see him as a part and parcel of Krishna, we won't have this, dvesha and moha. We won't have that love and hate. I love this person, I hate this person. Everyone will, it will be samadarshina.
Okay, very nice. Okay, Rupa Mataji, what were you gonna say?
Almost the same thing, Mataji. They become friends to everyone. A Krishna conscious person is friendly to everyone.
Yeah, so Prabhupada is writing in the book, very nice, thank you. He's writing that if a Krishna conscious person, when they see somebody suffering, they know that the root cause of suffering is forgetfulness of Krishna. There's no other reason. Every other reason is an external reason. It's a very deep introspection, huh? There is only one reason why we suffer. There is no second reason. And the one reason we suffer is because we forget Krishna. So that is why we're friends with everyone, because they know that the problem is common. And of course, everyone seeing everyone from a compassion point of view. So compassion is a spiritual quality. Compassion is not a material quality. In material world, there is no compassion. There is transaction. There is no compassion. Compassion can only happen when one is attached to the source of compassion, which is Krishna. So yaha samam eti Pandava. So to come to Krishna, he's given the formula now. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta sangha varjitaha, nirvera sarvabhuteshu. Ye kaam karo. Mat karma krin, do Krishna karma. Mat paramo, which is Krishna karma, which is free from the contamination of previous activities. Mad Bhakta Sangha Varjitaha, who is my devotee and who is free from unwanted association. We discussed what are the unwanted association. Nirvera Sarvabhuteshu is not having any ill feelings for any of the living entities. And how is that possible? But it is possible. That person can come to me. Certainly comes to me. So, Mat Karma Krin, engaged in doing my work. Mat Paramo makes me the supreme goal. Mad Bhakta, engaged in my devotional service. Sangha Varjita, free from contamination of fruity wax and mental speculators. An atheist. Nirvera Sarvabhuteshu, friendly to all living entities. Only most purified devotional service, free from gyan and karma, executed without envy, can bring one to understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So why we are not understanding Krishna? Because we are not performing purified devotional service. Revert back. Why am I not becoming Krishna conscious? Because of this. So this is a link. The characteristic of Ananya Bhakti, because next chapter is devotional service, is all these 5 things. Okay, so in this chapter, you have any questions before I actually collected some fun facts? But do you have any questions, reflection, realizations, or corrections? So we studied that Krishna is saying that he's agreeing that his universal form is very worrisome, fearsome, and is actually causes mental disturbance. So he has accepted Arjun's, but he's saying that the universal form I showed you has never been shown to anyone before, and is also very difficult to see. But then he agrees that this is disturbing, so he shows his two-handed form, and then he shows his four-handed form, and then two-handed form. And when he shows his two-handed form, Krishna emphasizes that this form is even more difficult to behold for demigods. And then he is telling that where he's not available, and then he's telling where he's available. These are confidential talks. And now we don't share our location with anyone and everyone. They're confidential talks where I'm available and where I'm not available. Questions, reflections, realizations, corrections? Okay, I'll show you some fun facts. So what made Arjuna asked Krishna to display the universal form? So there are verses, as I was reading, this was before, said that the answer is in verse number 1 and verse number 3. So 1 is establish Krishna's divinity for all. 3 is to set a criteria. Verse number 8 to substantiate Krishna's statement. Then question number 2, who all could see the universal form? Arjun, Sanjay, demigod. So these are the references. Verse number 12, 36, 47, 48. I'll give you all this, okay? Is universal form permanent? Answer is given in these verses, 5, 8, 45, 48. Secondary rasa in this chapter, astonished, wonder. If you collected some fun facts, you can also share, okay? So this is the end of chapter where Arjun is requesting Krishna to show his universal form. Krishna describes the universal form and gives him the vision. And then he shows the universal form. And then Sanjay is describing the universal form to Dhritarashtra. And then Arjun asks Krishna, who are you? Krishna explains, time I am, become my instrument. Then he offers prayers. And then at the end, he requests Krishna to show his four-handed form and two-handed form. And then Krishna does that again. I think this is all. 12th chapter is a small chapter, but it is a very detailed chapter. We'll see how you want to do it. So read the chapter, okay? Read at least first 10 verses for the next class, and then we'll see how much we can do. Mataji, I think we can go offline.
I made you host, Mataji. You can.
Oh, okay. Any questions?